Hey, welcome back to Evil Genius Armory. Today we're going to switch gears just a little bit. We've got Christmas coming up, a lot of mom and dad stuff going on with kids, and because I'm a part of the shooting community, and that's what's near and dear to my heart, I thought I would do a video on introducing young folks to shooting and some of the things that need to be considered and some of the things that might be helpful to a parent or an uncle or grandpa or whoever that might be considering introducing a young person into shooting. One of the things we're going to use today for that is a Keystone Arms Cricket. This is the rifle that I used to introduce my oldest son to shooting probably 18 years ago. And I think that this is, while there are many options that are good, this is an excellent option for a few reasons. For one thing, it only weighs about 2.5 pounds. So it's easy for a little person to keep held up. When you put a kid on an inappropriately sized gun, it makes it harder for them to be successful, and it makes them harder to concentrate on what it is that you're telling them. So this firearm lends itself to that nicely. It's not an expensive firearm. These come in at around 150 bucks. And some of the things that make these nice for teaching little folks are as follows. So these only have an 11.5 inch length of pull. So little folks can still get their face up on the stock and get their hand on the grip in a relatively natural shooting stance. A silly little cheat that I like to use when teaching kids, I put a little Velcro dot up on the stock, and that helps to remind them to keep the finger off of the trigger. I just let the little guy or little girl know, make sure you're touching the Velcro, and they can just index that, and it's very easy for them to feel. This rifle is a single shot, so when the bolt is closed, there's no more ammo on board. If you put a round in, that's all you've got, and it's got a pull cocking mechanism. That way, when you chamber a round, it's not hot. So you can put this in a child's hand, you can get them all set up, you can put the round in the chamber when the muzzle's in a safe direction, and then when you're ready for them to shoot, and you have hands on the kid, and you can 100% make sure that everything's going well, then you can cock the weapon. From there, this also comes with a crossbolt safety. This is a locking safety. This just is a little metal pin that will come up and block the bolt from being pushed forward. So when this is not in use, you can push that little metal pin up and the bolt won't go closed. That way, even if a little person would get their hands on it, which is absolutely unacceptable without adult supervision, that's on us adults, even then, the bolt would not be able to close. We've got a 16.5 inch barrel, and it's very light. This is an easy gun for a little person to learn on. Trigger pull is about 5 pounds and not horrible. You don't need a light trigger pull for little guys. It just lends to problems. So that's the rifle we're going to use. Let's talk about some of the things that are important to teach little kids. And I'm going to go back over it with the little guy that I'm teaching today. For little people, the rules of gun safety are very simple. If you find a firearm in a friend's house, in a relative's house, you're supposed to do just a couple things. Stop what you're doing, leave the area, and tell an adult. I'm going to teach the 4 basic rules of gun safety to the young people that I'm introducing to firearms. But for them, the rules that they're explicitly responsible for, if they find an unattended, unsecured firearm, they need to stop what they're doing, leave the area, and tell a trusted adult. If a little kid tries to take a gun from another little kid, often what happens is a muzzle ends up pointed at a little kid, and that's the last thing that we want. The number one priority is always safety. So that said, let's get our trainee in frame and we'll talk to him a little bit. We're ready to introduce a very special guest on Evil Genius Armory, our young person that we're introducing to the shooting sports. Mr. Nicholas, why don't you come on in and introduce yourself? Hello. This is Mr. Nicholas. This is my stepson. Yep. How old are you, Nicholas?
I'm 8.
You're 8? Yep. We've done a little bit of shooting, yeah?
Yeah.
So first things first, let's talk about the rules that little kids need to know if they find an unattended firearm.
Yes.
Right? What's the first thing we do?
If you find a gun just laying on the floor, do not pick it up.
Yep, you stop. Huh? What's the next thing you do? What should you do?
You leave the area.
Stop, leave the area, and then what?
And then you go tell a grown-up.
You tell a grown-up that you trust, that's right. Why is it important not to take a gun away from, say, your little sister or a friend at somebody else's house? What could happen?
Because if their finger's on the trigger and you start pulling away, it's going to aim at them or you. And if they pull that trigger, either one of you are going to get shooted.
That's right. You get shooted. So we've got a Nerf gun here, very safe. They don't sponsor us either, right? Oh, wait. What are they supposed to do, Nicholas? What should they do if they're watching our YouTube channel? They better like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe,
That's
everybody.
right. Because I'll make you a promise. If you personally, dear YouTube viewer, don't click the like and subscribe, Nicholas will receive no Christmas presents this year. None. He'll cry. So that's on you. It's not on me. I'll be watching. As a demonstration, if I'm your little sister and I'm goofing with a gun and you try to take it from me, what happens? You start to pull?
Yeah.
And the gun can get aimed at you and blammo, he gets nerfed. Super, super important. Those are the kid rules. If you find an unattended firearm, and as adults, responsible firearms owners, we do not leave unattended, unsecured firearms. You stop, you leave the area, even if the other kids don't come with you, and you tell an adult, and then the adult can come in and handle the situation safely. Now, let's talk about the grown-up rules of gun safety, which is a good thing to learn. Yeah, 4 rules, that's right. It's a wonderful thing to know. You start instilling this stuff young. We're going to get that cricket back out, and the rules work in order. As we approach the gun, what do we always assume?
Always assume that the gun is loaded.
That's right, you always assume that the gun's loaded. Because what does everybody say after they accidentally shoot a gun that they shouldn't have?
I didn't know that was loaded.
I didn't know it was loaded. That's because they didn't follow rule number 1. They didn't assume it was loaded. As an adult, when you approach a firearm, you always assume it's loaded and check the chamber to make sure that it's empty. Then, as we come up to the gun, what's the next thing? If we go to pick it up, what's the next thing that we have to make sure that we never do?
You never point the muzzle at yourself or anything.
Never let the muzzle cover anything that you're not willing to what?
Destroy.
Never let the muzzle cover anything you're not willing to destroy. Can you give me a couple examples? What would you never point a gun at?
A human.
A human? What about one of the dogs?
Never.
Never. A neighbor's house?
No.
No. People do. People are silly out there. People are silly gooses and they don't know any better. They haven't been trained properly. You would never point it at a car going down the road?
No.
No. Right? So once you have the gun and you're controlling the muzzle in a safe direction, what's the next thing we have to really pay attention to?
Never put your finger on the trigger when you're not willing to destroy anything.
That's right. Never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to fire. That's right. And we put this little piece of Velcro on here. That way it's a good place to keep your finger indexed so that you know you're not touching the trigger. And it makes it easy for an adult to say, hey, make sure you're touching the Velcro. It's a great way to instill those good habits from a very early age. And the last thing, say we're on the range and we've done all the right stuff. The last rule of gun safety that we have to be absolutely sure of has to do with what you're shooting. What's that one?
Always know what's behind your target and what are you shooting.
That's right. Always know your target and what's behind it. We wouldn't shoot at a target in a bush and there might be a house behind there, right? That wouldn't be safe. You wouldn't shoot at a target if there's a dog running in the background, right? Those are important things here on the farm. So we always make sure that we're shooting on a safe range with a good dirt backstop because we're responsible for every bullet that leaves the gun. And those are the 4 rules of gun safety. And it's easy to talk about those with a young person. Now Nicholas has got a very good memory, but it's easy to talk about those with a young person every time. And it really is good for the adults to go over them too, because I'm around a lot of adults that are shooters and it only takes one little slip up and tragedy can happen. How many rules of gun safety do you think you have to break for somebody to get hurt?
1.
Actually, it is a wonderful system that's made so that you have to break every single rule in order for somebody to get hurt. You would have to forget to assume the gun's loaded when you pick it up, and the gun would be loaded. Then you would have to pick it up and allow the muzzle to cover something that you're not willing to destroy. Touch the trigger, and a fun way to say that is to keep your booger hook off the trigger until you're ready for the gun to go off. And then be unsure of your target or what's beyond it. You have to break all 4 rules for somebody to get hurt. You could have a negligent discharge without breaking all 4 rules, but you have to break all 4 for somebody to get hurt. So they're overlapping layers of safety, and that's a very intentional thing with gun safety. So we've talked about all the safety stuff. What about the things that we need when we're shooting? We need to have some safety gear, don't we?
Yes.
Okay, what's some important safety gear?
If you're ever shooting a loud gun, always have earmuffs.
That's right.
We have something to protect your ears.
We have to protect our ear. You don't want to end up an old guy with hearing loss like me. I'm already ugly. Now I can't hear. Right? So, always earmuffs. There are exceptions. If you're shooting a suppressed 22, sometimes I don't make them wear muffs because it's super quiet, and that's fine. What's another important thing? When we're shooting bullets, stuff could spray back, right?
Yes. So make sure you're shooting at a clear range where nothing's behind you. So if guns.
Oh, that's right. It's important not to have other folks around.
Black, they can.
Yeah, but
something
to protect us, anytime we're shooting with kids, anytime we're shooting, we need to be wearing safety glasses because if we're shooting steel or Mr. Nicholas has got a Red Ryder BB gun, and I don't want this to be like Christmas Story. I don't want you to shoot your eye out, kid. And BBs ricochet like crazy. So if you're shooting BBs, and there's nothing wrong with that, make sure that you're shooting a soft target that the BBs won't ricochet on, okay?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of us older folks grew up with that stuff, and those BBs would ricochet. And even a low-powered BB gun will absolutely put your eye out, kid. So safety glasses are important, right?
Yes.
All right. Now Nicholas hasn't shot this gun. He's kind of excited to go out on the range. We've got a couple fun targets. What are we going to shoot at?
We have some cans that are not empty, people.
Oh, full of pop.
So there might be some explosions on the camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some explosions.
And we also have a monster minifig.
Yeah, we got a plastic monster. That's Mr. Jerome Kunkel. Thank you, sir, from House of Plastic. Check him out. Yeah. So are you excited to get out there and see what you can do with this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, let's get out on the range. Get on your sights. On the Sprite can?
Yes.
Whenever you're ready, buddy. Blast it. Okay. Oh, you blew it apart. Blew it apart.
Nice shot, kiddo.
All right, Mr. Nicholas. See if we can get those SpaghettiOs. Aim just a touch low. Tip of the sight, right in the middle of the can, maybe a little bit lower than the middle. Attaboy. Oh, another dead can. Nice. Garbanzo beans are the next victim. See if you can get a good hit, Nicholas. Take your time, make a good shot. Oh, dead garbanzo beans. Why would we shoot garbanzo beans?
Because nobody likes them.
That's right. All right, Nicholas, get the zombie on the left. Can you hit him? Oh, that's a zombie on the right, but that'll do. Last one, last zombie. Can you make a clean run?
Yes.
Let's see it. Take your time, make a good shot. Oh, you blew its head off. You blew its head off.
And this is why you don't want to mess with me.
That's why we don't mess with you, huh? He's a bad man. All right, awesome. Let's take her back inside. Okay, we're back in off the snowy range. Mr. Nicholas, come on in here with me. There he is, folks. What'd you do here?
That was what we shooted today.
Yeah, that is what we shooted today. That was a zombie. And you took his head clean off, didn't you? Yeah, sure did. Yep, that's good fundamentals. Doing a good job.
Yes.
Did you have fun out there?
Yes.
Yeah? Good time? We reviewed some safety stuff?
Yes.
Yep, even though it was cold. Yeah, we had to deal with some cold stuff today. So, here's the lesson, folks. We're going to talk about a couple things after Nicholas leaves. But go have fun with your kids. Go have fun on the range. It can be a family activity, and everybody can enjoy it safely. And if we want to continue as a nation of shooters and of people that enjoy the shooting sports, then we have to include the kids. We have to foster that next generation. So, Mr. Nicholas, you did an absolute awesome job. Kids made for TV, right? Yeah. About time we had somebody on this channel that was pretty handsome. Handsome. Yeah. All right. Go inside, get warmed up, buddy. All right, so Nicholas is back inside getting warmed up. It's pretty cold here on the range today. And just a few final thoughts when introducing young folks or even just new folks to shooting. The absolute #1 priority is always safety. As responsible adults that are interested in the Second Amendment community and shooting sports, safety is #1. We can't afford to have any accidents. Accidents happen very quickly and they're often irreversible. Okay, so you have to adhere to those 4 rules of gun safety. I don't care how experienced a shooter you think you are. You know, you've been a cop your whole life, or I've been in the military, or whatever. Nobody is too experienced to have a mistake or to have an accident. So we always have to be mindful of that. Other things to think of as it pertains to especially children. Remember to be patient, okay? If you get frustrated, they immediately feel that. And then the experience is not nearly as good for them. So be patient. Remember to have fun. We killed some garbanzo beans today and a werewolf, okay? So it's important to have fun. And I spent $3 on a couple cans of pop and garbanzo beans, which I didn't want to eat anyway. They're pretty nasty. And most importantly, Mr. Nicholas had fun and he learned some stuff. And keep it short. Don't have them out for some extended crazy range session where they get bored, they get tired of it. Keep it short. Be sure to stop when they're still having fun. Make sure that they're gonna, leave them wanting more, as they say. So Nicholas, he can't wait to go kill some more cans of food or another plastic zombie. And that's what you want. Okay, so make sure they're having fun, be patient, always be safe, and just have fun with your family, right? Family's a blessing. Okay, well, I've said it on this channel before, we're Christ followers. Sometimes we cuss and we do stuff we shouldn't. But, God's giving you that gift. Take time to enjoy it and make sure that you're raising them up right. That's about all I've got to say. That's it from Evil Genius Armory.